It's time to do another run through, another test of the 3 different driving modes. I guess there might really be 4, but 3 different driving modes for the new Toyota Tacoma. You know, I've been running Pedal Commander on it now for a few weeks now, and Pedal Commander kind of refines everything, if you will, and even gives that little extra oomph when you're running in sport mode. But I haven't really run it without Pedal Commander turned on for a while, so I want to go ahead and see what it feels like, kind of bring back the memories, I guess, of what the 3 drive modes are like without Pedal Commander on. And I'm talking about Eco, Standard, and Sport mode. So let's go jump in the truck. Got to take the green nectar with me, and we're going to find out. All right, we're out here in my testing grounds. It's kind of an area that's not built up at all. Well, it's starting to become that way with new houses and stuff. But anyway, I like to come over here when I'm just messing around so I don't have to deal with traffic. So what we've got right now, the truck is set on Eco mode, and you can see it right there. That's the default. And by the way, the Pedal Commander is off, although it's hard to see the lights in it with the sun shining on it anyway, but it is off right now. So you can see we're in Eco mode, and to change the modes, you just push drive mode, and then you start turning things, and you'll see it goes into different modes. Let's take a look at the screen on the right over here. You can see it's in Eco. We go to normal and sport. And like I said, I haven't driven it in a while without it being in Eco with the Pedal Commander over there on Sport Plus 3. So now with Pedal Commander off, we're just gonna ride a little bit and see what it's like in Eco mode. And I have to say, the best way to tell how these different modes feel is really just stop and go driving in lower speed limits, because when you're cruising on the freeway and you're at, I don't know, 55, 85, whatever you drive, you don't really get a feel for what the modes are like unless you need to stomp on the gas to pass somebody or something. So we're in Eco mode and we're in drive. Let's just go ahead. We're going to start off, and it feels really nice. And this is the mode, I guess, that you're going to be in if you just bought the truck, because it's the default mode. It's always going to default into Eco, and I wish it didn't do that, honestly. I wish it would go into other modes, or stay in other modes, I should say, wherever you set it. But that's not the way Toyota has this thing set up. It just wants to go into Eco mode every time, obviously, to save gas. So just kind of cruising around a little bit, nothing major, just kind of getting the feel for it. It's peppy. I mean, it really is. When you get on the gas, even in Eco mode, it is a fun drive. By far, even in Eco mode, better than what we had before with just the regular 3rd gen normal drive mode. So I'm gonna kind of pull off here, or actually I'm just gonna stop. There's nobody coming. And we're gonna switch to the next mode, which I think is gonna be standard. And I'm wondering if I just turn this, will it switch? It does. I didn't even have to push the button. So I said standard, I meant normal. We're now in normal mode, as you can see there. And notice how the screen changes. You've got Eco, which is kind of a blue. Normal is kind of just a gray. And then we've got Sport, which gives you a little flash of red in the wheels in that red background. But we're going to go to Sport right now, or normal, I should say. And we're going to just take off. I don't notice really a huge difference, I don't think, in going to normal mode and then getting on the gas when I'm moving. Again, the truck is pretty quick anyway, so you know, it's kind of difficult to tell the difference when you're sort of just driving around, I suppose. Now, actually, I'm gonna break the law. I'm gonna turn right out of the left turn lane. How's that? All right, let's accelerate normally up to speed, and it's just amazing. Again, the difference between what we have now and what we had before, and I'm just in normal mode. I will say I don't notice a huge difference between normal mode and eco mode. You're supposed to get better fuel economy, I guess, in eco mode, but power-wise, I don't really notice a big difference in the way that it drives, and I don't notice any difference in the steering wheel, anything like that. It all feels pretty much the same to me. So I'm going to get to another stop here, and we'll switch over to sport mode and see how that feels. All right, we're stopped once again. We're going to go to sport mode. Let's see, that's right there, and we're going to take off. Well, it's definitely more peppy in sport mode. I want to get up here to the stoplight and make a turn. I'm actually speeding. That's not good on a 30-mile-an-hour road. Let's drop down a little. I want to give it a little more gas from a slower speed. Yeah, we got a little more giddy up in the step. Not quite as much as what we have when Pedal Commander is active, but nonetheless, still a pretty good jump from being in sport mode. Now, we're going to take a left. I want to see what the steering feels like to see if we get any more, I guess, tightness and ride out of sport mode, particularly in the steering. That's what I'm really curious about. We shall see. All right, we got a green light. Let's turn. I don't notice anything, really. I don't notice that sport mode stiffens up the steering. I still feel it in the accelerator, that's for sure. But I don't notice it change anything as far as steering or maybe suspension goes. And I know it's not a sports car, right? But yeah, it was worth investigating, paying more particular attention to, I guess, to see if we got any tightening of the truck. And I would say not. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, sport mode most times in cars, sports cars in particular, will tighten up the handling and the steering when you go to a sport mode, but I don't notice that in the Tacoma. So that's the run through. I did mention there is a fourth option. That, of course, is shifting through the gears. You can see the S and the plus and minus off to the left of the drive indicator right down there. That's so you can, I guess, simulate a manual transmission, although I have to say it's not the same. I mean, if you think because you put it into manual mode or shift mode that you're somehow learning how to drive a manual, not even close. I don't even use it myself. I've never used that feature in any vehicle I've ever had. I mean, if I want a manual, I'm going to drive a manual. And yeah, I do know how to drive a manual. I think everybody should, even though, yeah, I do believe it's a dying art out there. But nonetheless, I guess that's the fourth mode you can put the truck in. You might even call it 6 modes because you can utilize it, I think, in eco, sport, or normal mode. Anyway, leave a comment. If you've got the 2024 Tacoma or you've driven one and tried out the different modes, what did you think of it? Is it worth messing with, or you really can't tell the difference between any of them? I'd just be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.